Hello, everyone. I'm Buford MC, and welcome back to another adventure in GregTech New Horizons. Today, we are going to be working on a brand new multi-block, and the multi-block we are going to be working on today is the Pyrolyse Oven. So we're going to be getting this set up today, and we're going to be making all the different parts for it so that we can proceed with our current goal of getting some benzene production set up. So this is the goal for today. Now, when you look at the quest here, so this is found in the multi-block goals tab. And when you look at this quest, it doesn't look like there's too much to get. But if you actually click on the multi-block structure, it shows you all the different parts you need. So you do need more than just what the quest says. You need, of course, the different hatches and the maintenance hatch, energy hatch, the buses, and all that stuff. Of course, you don't actually, I don't think it's completely required, but for the recipes we want to run with this thing, we will need all of this stuff, I believe. So we're going to need at least those 66 Pyrolyse Oven casings, though, according to the quest. And we are going to also need the coil blocks. We're not going to do the copper nickel ones. We're going to go with the cantha ones, which we can now make, which we worked on that a couple episodes ago. So we're going to try and get everything we need for this today, and we're going to try and set this thing up. So if we come over here as well to my bookmarks, I have set up bookmarks for pretty much everything we need to make for this thing. And one thing I have set up is the Pyrolyse Oven casings. So I've done some stuff up here where we can calculate how many of the different plates and stuff we're going to need, and it is quite a bit. So 66 Pyrolyse Oven casings. If we actually look at the recipe for one of these, you need 4 steel plates, 2 iron plates, and 1 bronze-plated bricks, which is another 6 bronze plate and some bricks. So in total, to make 66 of these, you're going to need 264 steel plates, 132 iron plates, and 396 bronze plates, and 66 bricks. So it's a fair amount of resources that we're going to need, but I've done some stuff in the bending machine, and I think we should have all of that. I mean, in general, it's not that bad, I'd say. It's a couple hundred, and this pack's pretty much nothing, to be honest, at this point. But it is still a little bit of resources. And then down here, I've already set up some bookmarks for all the other stuff we're going to need, cathode coil blocks, and the reason we need these is because it even says speed is 50% times heating coil tier. So since this one right here is the second tier coils, it will be at 100%. So the recipes in here are going to be at the actual length that they say. So if I look at the uses for this, you know, you get a whole bunch of different recipes, although the one we're going for is for the wood tar. So if we actually look that one up quickly, it's going to be wood tar, which is essentially logs to charcoal and wood tar. And it's actually going to be with nitrogen. It's actually more powerful if you use nitrogen, so it's going to be 96 EU a tick, but it takes 16 seconds. It's actually quicker if you use nitrogen as well. And since we're using the cathode, it will be 16 seconds. If we use the copper nickel, I think it would be 32 seconds for this recipe. So that's what we're going to be doing. And yeah, let's try and get into it. So before we actually go into the base, this is the building where we're going to set up the Pyrolyse Oven. I've actually already marked it out. It's going to be in this spot right here. So once we actually get all the parts, we're going to try and put it right there. So let's go head on over to our crafting area and see if we can get all the different parts prepared. And since I'm over here, let's see if we can grab those bricks already. We do need 66 of them. And we're going to need some other stuff as well. So I have prepared a bunch of different plates. So 396 bronze plates. Let's just take all of them. We're going to need some iron plates. That's a little over 2 stacks, I believe. So I'll take 3 stacks. And then the steel plates is going to be probably about 5 stacks, maybe a little less. So those are all the plates we should need. And to make these different things right here, the Pyrolyse Oven casing and the bronze-plated bricks, you can use an assembler. But the only difference is you're just not using the tools. And if we don't do that, and we use the assembler instead, it does take 10 seconds. So I think we'll just craft them manually. I think it's the same for you. Looks like it is. So I think we can go ahead and just craft these up manually here. So for the bronze-plated bricks, we can just do that. I don't have a wrench because it's going to be in the toolbox. There we go. And let's see if we can get that made up. There we go. There's 64 of them. 64 of those. And can I get 2 more? Let's just do that one like that. 2 more bronze-plated bricks. Lovely. That is using a lot of charge, actually, in this wrench right here, isn't it? Right, let's go ahead then and do the Pyrolyse Oven. And that should turn it into the Pyrolyse Oven casings. Lovely, so that's 64 of those. And the wrench ran out of power, didn't it? Right. That does use a lot of power in this wrench, so let's put you in there for now, and let's grab a spare wrench. We do have plenty of them. Iron will do. Doesn't look like there's much more to go. Then we'll just do 2 more. Perfect. Alright, well, there we go. That is 66 of the Pyrolyse Oven casings. So that was not too bad. Once you have all those plates prepared, that's pretty quick to do. So put those back, and we're going to put the Pyrolyse Oven casing into this shulker box right here. So this is actually something else I have been doing since the last episode. I've actually been working on some other quests. Specifically the ones in here, building better bases. I went and made all the different type of shulker boxes. Well, I say made all the different type of shulker boxes. What I basically did was I had a shulker box I think we made a long time ago, and there's a quest here that basically tells you about all the different upgrades, so you can turn a vanilla one into copper, vanilla one into iron, copper to silver, and it keeps going further on. So basically what I did was I made those upgrades, and I just plopped down the shulker box, applied the upgrade, and then I picked it up, and it would start counting off these different quests here. So we get the copper one instead of having to craft it like this. Basically what I did was I made that, and then I put it back down, put the next upgrade, picked it up with the pickaxe, and I kept going until I got all these different quests right here done. So that's how we ended up with this, and this is actually quite good because, of course, these are portable. So it's quite good for when we need to move around a certain amount of items, so I don't have to put them in my inventory, and we can keep them all in one place. So I think that's quite good. Right, so the Pyrolyse Oven casing is already done. That's 66 of those. And I just took that one out, didn't I? That's fine. There we go, Pyrolyse Oven. Right, so that is what we need to do now. So the LV Energy hatch, that's actually one that we're going to have to do some testing on. So the recipe for this, if I come back to this one here, it does say it needs 96 EU tick, which is MV power, but like we did with the EBF, we can use 2 LV energy hatches to get up to MV power. So I'm assuming it's going to work the same way for the Pyrolyse Oven. If it doesn't, we can use an MV energy hatch, but we're going to try the LV energy hatch at first, which we actually do still have some of those. These are the ones from the EBF, so we don't even have to make those. So you're off the list. And do we have anything else actually in here? The input bus, which was right here. That one is the muffler hatch. We are going to use the MV one just to save a little bit on pollution, so we will have to make that one. There's the input bus. Do we have anything else like an output hatch? Probably not, actually. I think the input bus is the only one we're going to have. Right, so there's the input bus at least. So that means we're going to need to make a couple other things, and it is also nighttime, so let's go to sleep. Alright, so let's go ahead and try and get these different buses and hatches here made up first. If I remember correctly, these ones are going to be pretty much the same. Input hatch is going to need tanks, which I do have quite a few of those. And then the bus is going to need, I believe it's a chest. So if I come over here, input hatch, circuit 1, LV machine hull. And we are going to need some refined glue for that as well. And what was this one here? This is the output bus. Those are going to be on circuit 2, so basically I can just do that. That'll work on through. Right, so that'll take those 3 out. Next we'll go for the... Let's get that maintenance hatch made up. That one's pretty simple, I think. It's just all the different tools, which we don't have the wrench, but it's in here. That'll be the maintenance hatch. So that'll take care of that one. Let's put all these back now. The only thing about doing it like this is you have to put all the different things back manually, because otherwise it'll just go to wherever. And actually, I can put those... Well, no, we need a... Do we need any more? No, I don't think we need any more LV machine holes right now. So there's our maintenance hatch. We can go ahead and add you to the shulker box. Take you off the list. The cantho coil blocks, right. So I have prepared some stuff for making more of those, which we've already done. So there's some cantho wires. I believe we're going to need to get that to the 2 times wire. And if I've done my calculations correct, that should be enough for 9 of them. The only other thing we're going to need is the mica insulator foil. And I just remembered we're all going to need molten copper nickel as well. So we'll go ahead and get that prepared. Inside of a fluid extractor needs to be NV as well, I believe. So we'll get that prepared. Let's go grab our insulator foils. Which, of course, we have a little processing chain for that now. It's pretty good. We're completely full up, and we have extra of everything, so that's pretty good, I'd say. How much are we going to need for this? It's okay if we get a few extra. I'll put them back. I think 3 stacks should be enough. If we need more, I can come back and get it. And we'll go ahead and grab that molten copper nickel and get you set up in the, I believe, assembler it is. Circuit 3. Okay. And what did I just go... Oh, there we go. There's the cantho. I thought I took the whole stack at first. I was about to say, what did I just do there? But no. Looks like we're fine. And that should be the cantho coil blocks. There's our input hatch. There's our output bus. And what else was I making? That's supposed to be... Oh, it's up here. Output hatch. There we go. So that should be all of those. Go see output hatch, input hatch, output bus. That looks like those are correct. And we're making the cantho coil blocks. The muffler hatch is going to be over here, and that needs a steel rotor. We can quickly go one over here and do that inside of the extruder. Probably have some actually already, don't I? No, I didn't. There is our cantho coil blocks. Yeah, we should have enough mica. I probably got a little bit extra, but that's alright. So there is that steel rotor. That'll be the muffler hatch. NV muffler hatch. We'll put you in there. And all we're waiting for now is the cantho coil blocks and then the Pyrolyse Oven controller. And I'm going to assume that was a squid, hopefully. Could have also been warp, actually. Doesn't look like anything actually happened, because if you actually go to... Let me see here. Go to the warp effects. Yeah, it says fake explosion at 10 warp. That might have been that as well. So if I actually come over here and check that, let's see. Oh, we're at 9 warp. That's what it says there. But it could have also been a squid as well. Quickly check down here. Yeah, everything looks fine to me. I don't see anything that happened. Alright, well, now that we have sorted that out, that was quite interesting. We can go ahead and grab these. These are our cantho coil blocks. So we have 9 of those. You're off the list. And the last thing to get is... Pyrolyse Oven controller. Right, so we are doing quite well, I'd say. So the only thing we need for that, then, is 4-time copper nickel wire. Which I can just come over here and grab some of that. Do that. There we go. In fact, actually, we only need 2 of those, don't we? It's okay if we have a little bit extra, I guess. I'll put you into... Yeah. Alright, so, Pyrolyse Oven controller. There we go. And that should be everything for the Pyrolyse Oven. Right, so that wasn't too bad in the end. We had... Once you have all the plates for these, it's actually not that bad. All of this stuff is pretty much standard, and again, we already had some of it already available, so not too bad. So all that we need to do now is take the shulker box and head on over into here and set this thing up. And then we'll test it out and at least see if the power works for this. So that's the next thing we need to do after we set it up. So I'll put you down there, and let's take a look at the actual thing. So this is the structure itself. It's a 5x4x5, I believe. And, of course, the hatches and stuff don't matter where they go. Of course, I could also use the projector here, couldn't I? Well, we can try that out. But let's start making this thing at least. So we have to put down the controller as well, don't we? So there's the Pyrolyse Oven controller. Okay, I didn't want to rotate you like that. Just want to make sure it was facing forward, but it looks like it is. Well, we are going to have to do maintenance on this with the toolbox, but that shouldn't be too hard either. Right, so now that we put that thing down, let's go ahead and... Where is my... There it is, the hologram projector. Now, the only problem with this is I suspect it's going to put the hatches in the spots that I don't want it to go, but we can adjust that, I think. So, if I right-click... Okay, we're still working, and... the copper nickel coil blocks. How do I fix that, then? Yeah, it's wanting to put copper nickel coil blocks on that. Sneak use on controller. I wonder if it has anything to do... Toggle hatch position. If I turn this to tier 2, it will work with that. And let me actually consult the quest book. It might tell you about that in the quest for this. It was in multi-block goals. Advanced multi-block construction. Let's see. Well, multi-blocks accept multiple types of tier components or have variable size. Oh, we need a second one in order to do that. Right. Well, can't I just put these down manually? It shouldn't be too difficult. If I... Yeah, because it looks like they go right here in the bottom part. So if I just do that, it should work. Okay, let's see if that actually works. Hopefully it will. No, it's not working. Alright, well, we can do the rest of this part manually, I believe. It is going to get all these hatches in different spots as well. I mean, I could try and make a second one of these. Well, we could always try that. See if that works. It's not that expensive. It's just blue dye, white dye, paper. That's actually really cheap, so we'll try it. I don't use this thing all the time. I hardly ever use it because we haven't had to make that many multi-blocks yet, but we'll figure it out. We get used to it. Bone meal actually is going to be on me. And paper, do I have any paper in here either? No, but if I would have had paper, I think it would actually be up here. There we go, paper, and I believe it was just that. In fact, I might need to turn you. Can I just do that? Yes, I can. Alright, so that's 2 of them. So is that how that's supposed to work, then? Let's see if that will be happy with that, then. Yep, that's happy now. Right, looks like it has finished the multi-block. Now, it did put the hatches in the spots I don't want them to go, so we are going to actually have to do some slight fixing up with that, and it's about to be nighttime. So, muffler hatch. Okay, the muffler hatch, we're going to put that just straight up in the center, I think. Since we're up here. And it is nighttime, so let's quickly go to sleep here. Right, so... energy hatches, I know where those are going to go. Those are going to go down here. And we're going to try and hook this thing up to power as well. These are going to go, I believe, right here. I'm assuming these can go anywhere, actually. It might matter. Any bottom layer casing. So some of this stuff does tell you where they have to go. The energy hatch, yeah, any bottom layer casing. So I'm going to put the LV energy hatches like this. The maintenance hatch will go up there, and let's check this as well. Input bus can be in the center 3x13 area in the top layer. So the inputs are going to be on the top, the outputs have to be on the bottom. Okay, that makes sense. Yeah, I'll probably do some adjustments on this later on as well, but for now, let's just do something like this. So input hatch will go here, because of course then I have to set up all the different... Ooh, there's an ender creeper in here. They have a knack for showing up nowadays whenever I am making a new multi-block. It's happened before. How do we want to deal with you? I mean, I could just attack him. There's a good chance I'll kill him, but there's also a chance he might blow up, and I don't know if I want to risk that right now. I know what to do. Let's grab the golden lasso and ask for the help of our iron golem. They tend to get rid of him pretty easily. Where's he at? He's over here. He usually does pretty good at getting rid of these guys. There we go. Thank you for your service, Mr. Golem. The ender pull away as well, since we're here. And the gunpowder. Alright, back to the Pyrolyse Oven. Now that we have taken care of that distraction. Right, we need to go ahead and get the hatches in place. So, this is going to be where I put the input hatch... input bus, excuse me. And I'm going to just do something... I'm just going to put these in the bottom, then I think we'll put the output hatch... Again, I'll probably adjust it when we make the actual benzene setup, because for that, what I'm going to probably do is I'm going to make something similar to this. We're going to have another farm plot above there, which is where we're going to be going bonsais to get the wood. I'll try and stat them up so they're faster. This will be the output bus right here. And these will probably need to face down, I would assume, because we're going to have to put some stuff underneath later on when we get to the actual benzene pot, but that will be for a later date. Probably the next episode is when we'll do the benzene. But that should be everything, except for the maintenance hatch, which I can just go ahead and put it right here. Doesn't matter where that goes, just needs to be accessible to me. And that should be everything. Unless I missed a block somewhere, which is a possibility. Did I miss one on the bottom? Oh, wait a minute. No, it says incomplete structure still. Output hatch, output bus. Let's see if I made a mistake somewhere on that. Output bus, output hatch, any bottom layer casing. Input hatch, input bus. Center 3x13 area in the top layer. That might be our problem there. These cannot go on the sides, then that means. Input bus. Input hatch, I'm assuming, is that what that means? Yep, that just did something, and now it has formed. Alright, so that was the issue right there. So the input bus and the input hatch cannot go on the sides. They have to go in the, basically one of these 9 spots right here. Right, so we sorted that out, and this thing has now formed, and the only thing we have to do now is do that, and we get fireworks. Not sure why we got fireworks that time. We've done that before with the EBF, but I think we also need to put in a wrench. And that is now sorted out, running fine. Right. So, we have this thing actually functioning now, which is actually quite good. Let's go ahead and put you there. Put you there. Right, so now that we've set this thing up, everything seems to be running. We actually have to try and see if it will run at least with the LV energy hatches. It's pretty much the only question left. So the good news for us is our steam is only right here, so it doesn't seem like that's very far away. So we're going to need to grab some stuff. So since this thing, I believe, let's check that recipe again. We're just going to test it. We're going to need logs and nitrogen a little bit. So Yeah, let's see how this will work then. It is going to be, though, the important thing here to keep in mind is 96 EU a tick, so I believe that's going to need 3 turbines. So, we have 4 right here, so that's quite good. Let's drop you off in there, and since we're here, we'll put you right there. And we'll throw you in there. Also put the refined glue back in you and put you back in there. Right, so we're going to need the basic steam turbines. We're also going to need pipes. Since it's LV, we shouldn't need too big of pipes. Let's just use large pot and pipes. That should be more than enough. So let's go run over here. We're going to need the logs as well. I almost forgot about that. And nitrogen. So let's go ahead then. Let's do... I did my calculations right. I believe it was 16. Yeah, so that should run it for a little bit, at least for testing purposes. So we need nitrogen, which is actually down below, and logs are right here. Take 1 stack. And our nitrogen's over here. We are going to have to set up a new nitrogen production, probably right next to it. It's not going to be that difficult. You know, just something like this will do. So that won't be too hard. But, yeah, let's go ahead and see how this thing will work now. So, we need to go ahead... Oh, I need cables as well, don't I? Right, let's go back to the base again. Because we're going to need the cables to move this. They're going to be in here. Redstone alloy cables. We don't have a lot of 4x ones right now. Oh, no, we do. Don't know why those weren't stacked together. LV power. Right, let's go ahead and see what we can do. Right, so we need to first of all come over here, just make a new, probably, extension along you. And again, these potent pipes will probably be temporary, it's just what I have available at the moment. And, yep, that should work right there perfectly. Yeah, and I guess, yeah, if I do something like this, that will work. That will work just fine. Let's turn on the line mode to make that a little bit faster. Then do something like this. Put those there. And add 3 basic steam turbines like that. And then all we need to do from there is just attach these. So this is LV, this is LV. That's LV, just making sure. And we are going to need to make sure we have our wire cutter as well. Actually, no, we don't need that one in the middle, actually, do we? The way we should be doing it is like this. Okay, that should be hooked up now. Right, so let's go ahead and see if this thing is actually going to run. And I just realized the input bus is up there, so let's go ahead then and test out our little maglev thing we made a couple episodes back. Yep, there we go. It's pretty handy, isn't it? You can just place that down and we can fly right on up here. Right, so the input bus, we need to put in the logs, and I think there was a circuit involved for this as well. Circuit 10, it looks like it is. So put in the logs. Hatch is going to go with the nitrogen, and I believe I did not turn this thing on. And now we will. Will it work? The moment of truth. Yes. It does work. 96 EU a tick. We're going to be making charcoal and wood tar in 16 seconds. And it looks like everything here is working. These things light up actually from the bottom. It is kind of strange, though, these are only on the bottom. You don't really get to see those. But it's the way this multi-block works. Now, I should point out, though, that in the upcoming 2.9 update, whenever that comes out, we'll be updating to that, the structure for this is different. So we are going to have to redesign this here at some point. What was that just popped up? A message just popped up. I didn't get to read that. Might have been something to do with this thing. It is nighttime now. Right, so looks like this thing is working. And we should be getting the stuff in the output bus and hatch. Yep, there's the charcoal. And there's some wood tar. Lovely. So, yeah, that is how this thing works. Looks like it is working. So I'll probably make some adjustments to this when we need to. And, yeah, we'll probably be setting some more stuff up for this so we can actually automate the production of the wood tar and the benzene. And we'll probably do that next time. But before we end off for today, though, we're going to do what we normally do. And we're going to go ahead and claim our quests and open up some loot bags. And I think we're going to have quite a bit of those today. So let me put a few things away here, and we will see what we can do. Let's go put these away. These are smooth marble. Not gonna need that. And then get these cables out of my inventory as well. And the tools. Right, here we go. Put you up there. And let's go see what we have. So, Tier 2 MV, we do have a couple of quests. So actually, these are some things I've already done. So stainless steel, I now have the 64 stainless steel. So that will give us a loot bag and some coins. And I think we're actually making more stainless steel right now. Yep, we've got another 50 ingots in here. And we now have a grand total of 132 ingots. Not that we need it right now, but I have been making a bit more. Another quest we have done is, the Advanced Macerator. I actually needed this for something. I'm trying to remember what it was, but I can't quite remember. Might have been something to do with the shulker boxes, I think. In fact, yeah, I think it was something to do with the shulker boxes. I needed it. I need to macerate something, and it needed MV power to macerate, so that's why we made the Advanced Macerator. But for that one, we'll just take another MV loot bag. And then we also did this one right here. I made the good miner. This is the MV miner because it's much better than the LV one. And that's going to give me some mining pipes and an MV loot bag. Right, put the mining pipes into here for now. Okay, so we have that one there. And is that all the MV ones? Looks like it is. So next we have building better bases. Right, so I already showed off all this. So we've got obsidian barrels. 64 obsidian. It's not that hard to get, but we're already going to get a fair amount of loot bags today, I have a feeling. I'm going to take the obsidian. I just feel like it. Dark steel barrel. We have a ton of these dark steel ingots. We know how to make them. I'll take the MV loot bag for that one. And then the shulker box quests. So this is going to give us Magic Novice loot bag. I think I'll do that. Magic Novice loot bag again. In fact, I think all these are the same. So, Magic Novice loot bag. Magic Novice loot bag. Oh, here we go. This is different now. So you could have actually bought the upgrades for these, so I've done that already. Or we can do an Enchanted Magic Novice loot bag, so we'll do that instead. And I'll just keep doing those. Yep, Enchanted Magic Novice loot bag. Right, so we got quite a few things out of that. And we also did multi-block goals, so this is the Pyrolyse Oven. Okay, this is interesting. 2 MV loot bags or block of triple compressed charcoal. 3 of them. That's a lot of charcoal, although what's going to be the use of having that? I mean, I just don't know what the use would be for a block of triple compressed charcoal. And it's a large burn time, I guess. I think I'll just take it. I mean, 2 MV loot bags, we've already got quite a few of them already. Yeah, let's just take the triple compressed charcoal. Because who knows what we'll get from MV loot bags. Right, so we also got Bio for the masses. Right, this was for the spruce bonsai and oak bonsai seeds. This was an apple. I just had to scan these. That was a pretty easy one. And, yes, there was a second Pyrolyse Oven quest. So this was for, because this is actually a quest line that talks about benzene. So you have wood tar right here. And then I think it keeps going into benzene. But to get there, we have to make the Pyrolyse Oven, which is a quest here. So that is another quest, which, ooh, we get enchanted envy loot bags. I will be taking those. Right, and is there anything else? Does not look like it. Right. So, let's go ahead and put some of the extra stuff away here. And do we want to upgrade, actually, our Magic Novice loot bags here? Can we upgrade the enchanted ones? I wonder if that's going to make us lose the enchantment. Because this is going to give us basically guaranteed from, if I look up the uses for that one, it's guaranteed to come from this table right here. Although, to be fair, I don't know what is going to be terribly useful for us from here. If I were to actually put it in the assembler, would I lose the enchantment? There's only one way to find out. Now, this one, actually, I will go ahead and upgrade these. Yeah, I don't know, actually. I mean, here's the thing. If we enchant it, we're basically going to only get one thing, but it could be... Because I think the way it works is you can get it from the previous tier as well. I think we will go ahead. It might be a waste. You might be saying, no, don't do it. But I think I'm going to do it. Because I think actually the next tier is going to be better anyways. We might get something bad, but who knows. Also allows us to test it out. I wonder if it is going to actually still be enchanted, but my guess is it won't. No, it isn't. Yeah, you lose the enchantment if you try to upgrade them in the assembler. But that's okay, because now we actually do have at least a chance of getting some better stuff, I think. Right, so we do have a couple of things to open up here. So, I think we'll do it... Yeah, let's do it in that order. So, let's see what we get. So, Magic Novice Loot Bag. We get some torches and leather. Okay. Alright, these are the MV loot bags. We got, ooh, flat lamps, 2 stacks of them. That's rather nice, isn't it? Okay, I'm not going to complain about those. We got a steel screwdriver. We got a new tank. And we got some soul frames for bees. Okay, doesn't seem that bad. Alright, now we get to the interesting ones, the Magic Adept loot bags. So let's see what we get from this one. Okay, we got Quicksilver, 32 of them, and a Jar of Essentia. I don't think we've messed around with those yet. So that's something new right there. And the next Magic Adept loot bag. Ooh, what's this? Lazula Seeds and Straw Golem. Okay, that's an interesting one. I'm not actually sure what that is. I think that is a seed we can plant to get lapis or something like that. Could be wrong. I'll have to check that one out. Right, and then we have the enchanted Tier 2 MV loot bags. So let's see what we get from these. We got Farm Hatch and Iron to Gold chest upgrade and the last loot bag. Good integrated circuit and electronic circuit, 8 of them. Good integrated circuit. That is not the same. Ah, so that's a different type of MV circuit we just picked up there. How do we make that? Okay, so this seems interesting. Oh no, that one actually is not as bad. Good integrated circuit. Okay, so that's a different type than of MV circuit. And if we look at MV... integrated circuit, so that's what's coming up in the quest line. Yep, there it is, good integrated circuit. So this is how we get to the HV circuits, which will be something we'll be doing soon. So we just got a good integrated circuit, right? That is actually interesting as well. But yeah, we got our Pyrolyse Oven set up. It looks like everything is running fine. Well, nothing's running, but it works. We tested it out. And we got it built. We got all the parts made up. It isn't terribly difficult. I mean, it's a little bit of iron, steel, bronze, but it's not that bad. And yeah, I'm quite happy with that. So I think that is where we are going to end this episode. So I hope you enjoyed this episode, and I'll see you again soon. Bye for now.